In a bustling city not far from a forgotten swamp, there was an old, mysterious eatery called Mama Nia's Kitchen. It was run by a woman with a reputation that stretched from the heart of the neighborhood to the edges of the town. Mama Nia had a gift for cooking. Her meals were said to bring not just hunger relief, but to weave magic into the hearts of those who ate. People whispered that her secret ingredients came from deep, hidden places no one dared venture to. One day, a greedy businessman named Curtis, known for his lust for power and wealth, heard about Mama Nia's kitchen. He saw an opportunity to expand his empire by buying out her land and turning it into a luxury hotel. Desperate to get her to sell, Curtis approached Mama Nia, but she refused. "My kitchen is sacred, boy. No price is worth what it holds," she told him. But Curtis wasn't one to back down easily. He struck a deal with two shady men, Yamar and Ronnie, who worked as his muscle. The plan was simple: sneak into Mama Nia's kitchen, steal her food, and use it in a feast that would lure the neighborhood into his trap. They would poison her food with a concoction that would weaken her spirit, and when she was gone, the land would be his. The night they executed their plot, Mama Nia caught them in the act. She wasn't just a cook, she was a spirit in the flesh, her soul tied to the land she worked. She saw the dark shadows they brought with them and felt the poison in the food before they could carry it out. But instead of confronting them directly, she began to chant softly, her words like a haunting lullaby that swirled through the air and into their hearts. Yamar and Ronnie ate the food, believing they had outwitted the old woman. But as they chewed, something sinister began to happen. Their bodies froze in place, their eyes bulging as they tried to scream, but their mouths wouldn't open. Curtis, unaware of what was happening, entered the room to find his partners paralyzed, looking as though they were carved from stone. Mama Nia stepped forward, her eyes glowing with an ancient fury. "Greed and lust have twisted your hearts, and now the land demands justice." She raised her hands, and the kitchen itself seemed to pulse with life. The walls of the room shifted, turning into a dark swamp filled with shadows of ancient creatures. The spirit of the land rose before Curtis, a creature made of smoke and earth, its eyes burning with the fury of generations. "You sought to feed your greed, but the price for messing with what belongs to the earth is high," the creature growled with a snap of its fingers. Curtis found himself bound by thick vines that curled around him like chains. Mama Nia approached him with a bowl filled with a steaming, eerie stew. "You will taste what you tried to poison, Curtis. Your own corruption will be your final meal," she said, the words echoing in the air. As Curtis ate the stew, he felt his body twisting, turning into something unrecognizable, as though the darkness of his soul was being consumed by the very food he had tried to exploit. He screamed in agony, but it was too late. The swamp devoured him, his body sinking into the earth he had once sought to destroy. Yamar and Ronnie, still paralyzed, were freed. The shadows lifted, and they were left to face the consequences of their greed with nothing but their remorse. Mama Nia stood over them, her gaze as fierce as ever. "You have been shown what greed breeds. Learn from this, or the earth will claim you too." With that, the old kitchen returned to its peaceful, humble state. The land, once more at peace, had reclaimed its justice. And from that day on, the story of Mama Nia's kitchen was passed down in whispers, a warning to those who would seek to poison the world for their own gain. The earth remembers. And justice is always served, though it may take the shape of a feast you'll never forget.